Testing, testing. All right. Welcome to A Connection is a Connection.
It's fine. Okay,
Wait, am I in the frame of the camera?
Yeah.
Does it look good where he's sitting?
Do you want me to sit anywhere else?
You're good.
We like to keep it raw, real, no editing.
Hold on. I think
Everything goes.
Your microphone, the microphone might hit your...
All right,
So are you going to stand over there? I'm gonna...
Yeah, so you sit there, we're back here, and it's all about you.
Oh, you guys are not here with me?
No, we're not there with you. This is a
Completely
different...
different.
Yes. Talk about yourself, and then at the end, you talk about your business, and we're going to ask you, like, really random questions, as you saw.
Here, just a quick moment. Mama's calling.
All right. Ready?
Yep.
Welcome to A Connection is a Connection, the show where we take a break from business talk and dive into the personal side of things. Today, we're sitting down with our guest, Desheay, to uncover the stories, quirks, and passions that may make them tick. Let's have some fun and get to know them like never before. But first, give a warm welcome to our guest, Desheay. Woo! We are here to keep it light and fun, so let's jump into some questions. But before we get started, can you please give us a brief introduction about yourself?
Well, first of all, this is totally different than I expected. I was expecting a podcast where we're sitting like this, and now here I am on these stairs. So,
Totally different. Welcome to A Connection is a Connection.
We're taking steps to a new format here.
Yes.
Get it?
Yes.
All right, yeah. So my name's Desheay, and am I looking at the camera here? Or am I looking
Look
at
at
you
us.
guys? Okay.
Over here.
It's you guys and me.
It's the three
Yep.
of us. Four
Okay.
of us.
It's the four of us here.
1, 2, 3, 4.
So, shoot, such an open-ended question. My name's Desheay. I'm someone who's passionate about being present, healing, trying to figure out this shit that we call life, and being here, learning the lessons gracefully as possible. Anyway, I was a parkour athlete, and now I've branched into the fields of walking with people through their journeys and mentorship, and also the path of entrepreneurship. And I'm aware that one of the questions is, what's the hardest lesson, or something like that. And man, I have a lot of them.
Awesome. Well, we're
Yeah.
looking forward to asking you these questions, and let's hop into some.
Okay, let's hear it.
All right, before I start, tell me about the athlete. What kind of type of athlete were you?
So I was a parkour athlete. I don't know if you've ever seen the videos of people like doing flips or jumping across buildings or anything like that, but that's a sport that I used to do. I used to teach it as well. And if you've ever seen a viral video of anybody doing something fucking crazy, it's a good chance that it's a good friend of mine. So
That's
Nice.
awesome.
pretty cool.
How long did you do that for?
Man, from 2010 to actively 2020. Let's say after 2020, a lot of things shifted, and that was like the chapter of my life where I went back into the cocoon and did the whole disintegration and remetamorphosis, and I'd say that's still happening.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, we're so happy to have you.
There's
All
like there's like an 80s montage song going in there.
I know.
I feel like we got our own soundtrack, you know?
We do. Here we go. You ready?
Yeah.
All right. Would you survive a week in the wilderness with just a backpack? What is the one thing you would bring?
Depends. Where are we out in the wilderness? If it's the forest or if it's the desert, I'm gonna tell you, if it's the desert, I'm done. I'm just gonna lay in the sun and be like, all right, well,
It was good.
it was good. Cook me. But if we're in the forest, I don't know. If we're on the California coast, I mean, shoot, I think I could do with a backpack. It actually sounds nice. If it's in the Cali coast or Pacific Northwest, sign me up.
Yeah.
And what would you bring?
I mean, all I have is the backpack, right?
Yeah, what's
Yeah.
one thing you put inside of it?
Socks and underwear?
Am I wearing? Am I naked and afraid status with this
No,
backpack?
no,
Or
You have your outfit on.
okay, so
We put you into the wilderness right now.
I look fabulous. I'm in the wilderness right now. What do I bring? Fuck. Probably like a big ass knife with like some sort of flint thing on it.
Okay.
Like
Yeah.
that'd be a good start.
Yeah.
Make some shelter. You know,
Make some food.
make some food. Make something happen. Make some miracles.
Awesome.
Okay. Who has had the biggest influence in your life and how did they change you?
That's what I was thinking about on the car ride.
Just keep going.
We're continuing the take. Wildlife may come into the frame, but it's totally fine. That's just the way we do it here.
Do you want me to repeat the question again?
No, the question was something along the lines of like, who's had the most impact in my life? Man, you know, the first person that comes to mind is an important mentor figure in my life. His name is Angel Abiang or Abiang. Honestly, I don't think I've ever heard him say his last name. But anywho, you know, he taught me what it looked like to have just a heavier work ethic, and what it looked like to just really show the fuck up and be like an adult, you know, like. And I think that I'm still integrating the lessons that I've learned. But when I think to the most impactful person, that's someone that comes back to my mind a lot. You know, I grew up. I'm gonna going a little deeper. I grew up without a father, and so there was always this wondering of you know, what's it like to have a father figure. And I think that's the first consistent person that really stepped into my life in like my early 20s, and really showed up for me. And so, yeah.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Has your faith ever been tested in a way that changed you?
Yeah, every fucking day. You know, there's this book that I'm reading right now called A Course in Miracles, and it's sometimes it gets pretty esoteric, or pretty abstract, and sometimes I have to use a chat GPT to really distill it and understand like what's this book telling me. But one of the ways that I'm reconstructing my faith looks like replacing my grievances with miracles and allowing that to happen.
Yeah.
Even going into, you know, this private equity conference, there's these preconceived notions of, you know, private equity and the harms that it does to the you know, socioeconomic world at large, or maybe just America. I don't know. And that lesson flashed through my head like, replace your grievances with miracles. Maybe if I have a more open mind, and maybe if I just trust and have faith that there are good people out there, even in private equity or whatnot, um, maybe that openness can make room for, you know, miracles to happen, for um, more good to be in the world. And I think that um, I'm grateful for the opportunities to test my faith, and I'm grateful for the grace that I sometimes have navigating through that whole journey. I'm gonna, if you couldn't tell by now, I'm gonna give you just like the answer behind the answers. If
Oh yeah,
yeah.
I can see that. What's the hardest lesson you've ever had to learn?
I could think of one, but since we're being raw here, can I pull out my phone and reference like the 70 lessons that I just learned in like the last 6 months?
70.
Yes,
I haven't even written them all down. I'm gonna be honest. But I hit one of those walls in life where I was like, holy fuck. It feels like I just walked through a vortex. Like, where even am I? And so, you know, I just did some reflection. Let's see, things. All right. These are a shotgun list, a machine gun list of lessons that I've learned. Um, Lessons I've learned from this wave. I think I made this October 1st, 2024. Over promising, and these are lessons that I've learned both personally and at like I was the person who like, oh shit, I oofed that up, or I was the recipient of those lessons, and I learned the lesson by circumstance through someone else's action. So over promising on opportunities hurt people and reputations. The value of radical self-reliance and the consequences of not practicing it. When There's some practical ones in here too. When coordinating with others, always confirm dates over text or email. Um, have the other party confirm that they understand what we've agreed upon. Just because someone has experience in the general field doesn't mean they have experience in the particular situation that they're promising to help you with. That lesson cost me about 90% of my net worth at a certain time.
Wow.
I was working with someone who wanted to help me out, and I think that they had a lot of really great intentions. In fact, I'm certain that they had the best
Yeah.
intentions. Um, that person ended up dropping the ball in a lot of the things that they wanted to help me with, which cost me a lot of money and a lot of stress and time. And I thought that my level of discernment had gotten to the place where, okay, that's not going to happen anymore. I'm vetting these people like really good, but my yes for this, working with this person and having this person walk me through this process, um, my level of discernment was, okay, this person is in the field of what I'm trying to do. Um, since they're not just like talking general business, they're talking my field. I'm going to trust this person. And I learned from that not only do they have to be in that field, but it really helps if they have experience with the specific thing that you are trying to accomplish. And that was, I'm actually glad that I read through those because it was a good reminder. So,
There you go.
yeah.
Awesome.
Wow.
Wow.
Did you ever get in trouble at school as a teen? And if so, what for?
By my teenage years, I was really calmed down. Um, but in my earlier years, I was getting expelled from schools and suspended. I was like
No way.
bringing lizards into class.
Oh, that's fun. I've done that
um,
before.
What's the
um,
craziest thing you brought to class?
I mean, probably like a pocket full of lizards.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So
Yeah.
you're an animal nature person.
At one time I imagined myself out in the prairie, going and wrangling snakes and things like that.
Wow.
But no, I enjoy nature and I let it do its thing, and I make my cameos in nature. Honestly, I'm planning to make some like location moves to where I can integrate with more nature because the heart of Phoenix, besides Piestewa, it's kind of lacking unless you want to go like Black Canyon City or like Superstitions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the plan for next fall.
Mm.
Yeah, East Valley. But
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, Deshay, we have a special question that we ask every single one of our guests.
mm-hmm.
What are you doing for God?
Oh, that's beautiful. First and foremost, building a deeper relationship, and just realizing that God is there to support me, and I have the opportunity to just connect with, receive, and give to God in ways that fills not only my cup but the cups of the people around me. And you know, I'd also say one of the things that, I don't know if I could say doing for God, but bringing people closer to the divine, just showing them that there is divinity and magic in the world. And you know, for someone who's Christian, I would say that through the words of Jesus, the kingdom of God is always, with us, and we're only one breath away from walking in the kingdom of God. Now, my understanding of relationship with spirituality is more broad than the monotheistic Abrahamic religion lens. But one of the things that I've been able to appreciate in the last couple of years is the ability to just feel where God is, and whether that's in a church or in a mosque or a temple or in nature or right here, right now. And I could just feel it. And sometimes that's a little hard to articulate, but I feel like you guys get
It's
it.
hard to
Yeah.
explain, yeah, for sure.
Have you had certain things that have like let you go closer like the most that you do? If that makes sense.
Ask again.
So like have you had certain like so for example, like we do works for God, like the Bible or like church or things. Have you had certain ones that have grown you more than others?
Yeah. I'd say the times where I've done my deep work while climbing a mountain or scaling down a cliff, the miracles that I've been able to experience with God, and the people um, who have touched my heart through their connection with Spirit. So, some people call it God, some people call it Great Spirit, Source, the universe. I think, in my personal experience, God is like, you know, a grand vessel for the channeling of the divine current that's everywhere. And um, to my understanding, I'm still learning, but um, God was originally understood as a formless being, and the Father in the sky was more of a parable or a way to understand and connect with that formless being. And I think getting back to, I'll say this: there's one word that can create more peace in the world, just switching out one word, and it does have to relate with God, and that's changing the to Jesus is the truth. My version of God is the truth. Yahweh is the truth. Allah is the truth. Switching that from the truth to a truth or my truth opens the door for curiosity and for connection and the ways that we connect with God, rather than, who am I to say that your connection with God isn't real?
Yeah.
Or you didn't just talk with Jesus for like 15 minutes, or, God wasn't in the room with you. Who am I to say that? And same. So when we change that one word to the to we open a whole door. And if there's any message that I could give in this whole entire, podcast on these stairs with this music playing over here, that's the message that I would say.
Wow. There's normally not music in the background this time.
It adds a little bit to it.
It adds to it. Awesome. What's a secret fear you have that you've never admitted to anyone until now?
I don't know. I admit all of my fears.
Oh my gosh. That's good. You're a real person. You talk about your fears. So what are your fears?
Echo one, they think I'm a real person. I would say one of my biggest fears is being just following the tracks of some of those who came before me and being so much potential, but missing the mark on execution. And this is something I was talking to someone about, but one of the fears that I'm working through, or one of the things in my life that I'm working through, is this, I guess, this thing of worthiness, and the fear of, oh, well, what if I don't become this? And one of the ways that I talked about that fear was, I would rather die young, handsome, and full of potential than like old and washed up and didn't actually swing for any of the things that I knew I could do.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You know, like,
Mhm.
I'd rather, if it's not going to happen, take me now.
Yes.
You know, I think in building the relationship with God, I'm learning to just accept where I am and enjoy the process,
Mhm.
and let go of the outcomes and just focus on the type of character that I'm striving to become, and to replace my grievances, whether it's with another person or the circumstances or with God, replace my grievances for miracles. And that's what I have to say about that.
Wow. Okay. Have you ever had a wardrobe malfunction in public? Tell us everything.
Uh-oh.
Oh no. Oh no.
Actually, is my zipper down? No. Oh man.
That would be great if it
That would
happened.
be awesome.
Right? We're gonna have to cancel the podcast. This is the start of my OnlyFans.
Stop. Oh my god.
Oh man. Yes, there was one in particular. I was in Santorini, Greece, and I was there's another sport called tricking, and it's basically like karate and gymnastics put together. It's people doing series of flips and whatnot. I wouldn't say that was tricking per se, but we were doing flips on the mat, and it's hot as fuck. So like the three of us are doing flips in our underwear, and I'm doing a cartwheel full twist, and I'm basically doing a flip, and the goods pop out mid flip. I'm going 360, so everybody sees. And mid flip, I put it back in my underwear, and then land. And I'm like, guys, I just did a full out, full in.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's the best we've heard so far. That's the
I don't
best.
think
So anyway, I was doing a flip, right, and it flipped right out.
No one can beat that one.
Oh man.
What's one mistake you made that turned out to be a blessing in disguise?
I'm breaking my fucking back. That was a big mistake, yeah.
How'd you break your back?
I mean, it was already really compromised from like lifting things heavy in the military, and there are some service related things. What really did the nail in the coffin was um, a scorpion on an Olympic trampoline. And so that means falling face first and legs over the head. And oh man, there's two phases of healing. On the second phase of healing, I did a backflip after a long day of training, and when I landed, like I couldn't walk, like I couldn't like go upstairs. It was really scary, and the way it ended up being a blessing is it absolutely shattered my identity of who I was at the time. I was the parkour guy, parkour athlete. That's the reputation and the lifestyle that I had spent up to that point almost a decade building. And I got the opportunity to start all over. And that was a very intensive process. But it's allowed me to be who I am. I never dressed this nice like 5 years ago. Like I was always training. Like I would be ready to jump on these walls here. So I'd always be in like, kind of beat up shoes, and I saw swag, but like I'd be in athletic shoes and sweats, and a shirt that I can roll around in concrete in.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
it allowed me um, to be who I'm becoming, and that's pretty cool.
There you
That's
go.
amazing.
Yeah.
Do you do cocaine?
You mean like right now? No.
Wow.
No, there was one time in my mid 20s in Denver, Colorado, where it was offered to me. And because I have ADHD, it just made me kind of calm. And I was
Oh.
like, all right, well, this feels weird in the back of my throat, so I'm just going to go ahead and not do this again.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no. Will you sing or tell a joke?
What was the like the decision making process behind, all right, we're gonna ask him if he does cocaine. What did that look like?
It was just one of the questions. We have a whole
We
bunch
do
of
random.
questions. We have a whole bunch of random questions, and we just pulled some out for you and thought you would have a good story about your cocaine.
You were the lucky, lucky one.
The lucky one. We got that over with.
Now listen, only in suppository form, okay?
Exactly. There you go. So,
Um,
will you sing or tell us a joke?
I'll do both.
All right, let's hear it.
He's getting ready.
Why did the old man fall into the well?
Okay.
He couldn't see that well.
You're a performer too. Look at you. That's awesome.
Yeah,
That was good.
it's a pretty good one.
That was pretty good.
And in the well he shall dwell forever until time swells.
Damn.
Okay.
You did the joke and sang at the same time.
Exactly.
And then spoken word.
Yeah.
That is awesome. All right. Well, that is it for our questions today.
All right, Desheay. Thank you for taking the time out of your day to spend it with us. Can you give us a brief commercial and how people can connect with you?
Yes. So there are two main missions. One is to forge leaders who create emotionally safe conversations. If you'd like to be someone who creates emotionally safe conversations and relationships, or you're in an emotionally unsafe relationship and things don't feel emotionally safe, reach out to me via my personal Instagram, Desheay. It's Desheay, Desheay. Second thing is we're helping, and when I say we, I mean my business partner Alex and I are helping veterans, mothers, fathers, brothers, people who smoke and are either trying to smoke less or who are in a high impact stressful job where they wish they could smoke cannabis but can't because of the testing or whatnot. We create non-cannabis, non-tobacco herbal smoking blends that won't show up on a test. They'll never make you feel too high or too overstimulated. They smoke smooth, and I think they both create a fun time and a healing experience.
Wow.
So whether it's herbs or emotionally safe conversations, that's where you can find me. Um, the herbs are found at botanigoods.llc on Instagram, botanigoods.llc, or just botanigoods.com. And that's my commercial.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. It's been such a great time. And stay tuned for the next interview.